Hey, what's up guys, my name is Kai. So yesterday I uploaded a video of me going to a foggy, spooky area where I did some street photographies, and I'm pretty satisfied with the result, especially the colors of the photos. It looked pretty nice, I'm happy with it. So in today's video, I'm gonna do a quick tutorial on how I color graded the photos. If you wanna know more about how to take better night photographies, I made a video about it you can check out in this link. So the camera that I used to do this photo shoot is the Sony Alpha 6600, and the lens that I use is a Sigma 30mm 1.4. Everything about the gears is down in the description, you can check it out as well. So now we are at the first image that I took. The first thing you do is you look at the exposure. You should be very careful with the highlights when it comes to low light photography, because in low light the shadow and the highlight has a very extreme contrast. Usually you have to be more careful with the highlights because a lot of time you cannot recover it. So make sure the highlight is savable. I'm gonna bring up the exposure a bit so there's more detail in everything, but I don't think you need to worry with this highlight. Look, when I bring back the highlight, you can practically see everything in detail. Okay, so you can even see the lines in the lights, so that's pretty good. And then you add some white back. Okay, and then I'll remove some shadows, bring back the details in the shadow, and I will add black. What this does is that it brings back the details in the shadow, but at the same time it gives the shadow the contrast that it needs. So you remove the shadow and you add black. That's a technique that I always use. So, and same thing goes to highlights. You remove the highlight and then you add white. So you see the details, but it still has the contrast that it needs. In that way, the image is not flat. Okay? So you don't want a flat image, you want a good contrast in your image. This image look very spooky, but I want a very, let's say, cinematic look to it. So I'm gonna add a lot of blue to the image. I'm gonna play with the white balance, the temperature. I'm gonna bring it down all the way till the image starts to look very blue. Okay. Oh, that's too much. Maybe somewhere. Okay. So you see this blue, it doesn't look good. Okay, you want it to look teal. Okay, teal and orange. So I'll go to calibration here and I'll go to blue primary. I'm gonna pull it all the way to the left until it gives you the teal that you want to look like. Okay, so now the blue looks nice, but I want the image to have a good green tint in it as well. So what I usually do is I play the tint at the shadows, in the shadow levels here. So I'll add a lot of green shadows. Okay, so somewhere here. Looks nice, right? I actually don't like the red popping out that much, so I'm gonna reduce the saturation of the red just a bit. That's too much. Maybe somewhere here. Okay, so it looks a bit more even, and the red look a bit more like pastel. It has a pastel red. Okay, so kind of even with the blue. Now I'm gonna add some texture in the image. The good thing with texture, okay, some people might wonder what's the difference between clarity and texture. As far as I see, I don't know the exact difference, but in my experience, texture, it changes only things that actually have texture. So when I'm adding texture, as you can see, only the lower part of the image, this road, is changing. Other part is not changing because there's no texture. But when you add clarity, everything changes. Okay, everything changes. Like more things change it. I say not like everything, but a lot more things change it. But when you add texture, just certain things, it's more like mild clarity, I guess. Don't get triggered if I'm saying the wrong thing, but that's how I see it. Okay, so I usually add texture in the image, and now there's some noise in the image. It's not to the point that it's disturbing, but you do see some noise in it. Actually, I really want to bring out the fact that Sony really do well in low light. Okay, some people might think that I'm a Sony fanboy, but I love low light photographies. That's why I use Sony a lot. One technique that I use if the image has too much digital noise is that I'll go to the detail section and I'll use noise reduction. I will first remove the digital noise, and then I'll add some more organic grain to the image in the effects part. Okay, you see grain here. But in this case, I'm not going to do it because there's not too much digital noise in the first place. I can just add grain directly to the image. Okay, and you can play with the size and the roughness. I want bigger grain. Okay, I think I should remove some digital grain in the image because I think it's affecting it a bit. Yeah, it's a very mild detail, but for those who care, it does make a difference. Now I'm gonna crop the image. I usually crop in the ratio of 4:5 because that's the ratio you use on Instagram. If you want to upload on Instagram, you crop it with 4:5. Okay. One thing that I really like about taking pictures at night during a rainy night is you get these reflection on the ground. Okay, I want to keep all of those, so I'm gonna keep this guy in the center. Okay, something like this. Yeah, I think it's good. What do you guys think about it? So that's about it with my color grading. Now, before I end this video, I want to give a quick advice on color grading between photos and videos. I first started to learn about color grading with photos, not with videos. But then when I switched to videos, I tried to use the technique that I did with photos on videos, and it actually doesn't work the same way. So if you want to learn more about color grading videos with DaVinci Resolve, you can check out this channel called Waqas Ghazi. That guy is amazing at teaching color grading in DaVinci Resolve. That's what I use to color grade my videos. So learn DaVinci Resolve and check out this guy called Waqas Ghazi. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something from this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.